Hi everyone, Robert Plank here from VideoSalesTactics.com, and today we have our very special Q&A question and answer coaching session for everyone who completed the YouTube traffic challenge right here. Okay, so if you didn't complete the traffic challenge, that's okay, you're not going to see the button, but if you did, let me refresh this since I just gave myself access to this level. If you did, then you will see the button right here, and I think we put a button up here as well too. Alright, and I'll put a button under this video just to make totally sure that you can click the one button and join today's call. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to have you bring your questions and we're going to just go over a lot of stuff in the class that we've already shown, but that you needed extra help on. And there's all kinds of stuff we can do in a Q&A call, and I think that you should keep this in mind that most of you, and yeah, I would say most of you on this call, and depending on your niche, most of you already have people in your industry who run some kind of a coaching session where they charge a monthly fee and they just show up for an hour and answer every single question, and it's helpful for everyone involved. It's very, very easy to make. I would probably say it's the easiest kind of product or membership site to create, and the people who join get the most out of it because it's one of those things where very few people, a very small percentage, actually speaks up and asks a question, which is it's kind of a weird thing, but that's just how life is. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. But the thing to kind of think about is it took Lance and I a while, and I think it takes most people a while to kind of figure it all out. Meaning, we had to put out a lot of one-off products and put out a few classes just to figure out or just get that kind of base and meet with people on a monthly basis. And so I guess the first course we did this with was a course called Webinar Crusher, and this is a course where we taught webinars, but it was always kind of a big objection for our buyers because they had to buy our course and then pay for this webinar service, and we felt like it wasn't right because we got paid one time and GoToWebinar got paid every single month. So we ended up bundling GoToWebinar with our course, and just to make it even cooler, we meet once a month. So what's cool is that, and the income on this fluctuates, but I think for the last time I checked, it was like we got like 4,600 a month. I mean, I probably shouldn't tell you the numbers, but for about 4,600 bucks a month, we show up for an hour and talk, and that's it. Is that worth 1 hour a month? Well, I think so. And is it worth it for everyone who joins? Well, of course, because they get GoToWebinar for free, they get the webinar training for free, and they get to meet with us once a month. And I mean, what we'll do is if we get an email from someone, we'll save it for a couple days and then use it in that class. What we'll do is, fix one person's problem, and depending on how, and usually, once again, even if we have a bunch of people on the call, we only get a handful of questions, and we've gotten pretty good about just focusing on one question for about 10 minutes and longer if it has to be, but we'll have someone ask, and it's always funny because for us it's basic stuff. It's like, can you show me once again how to record in Camtasia? Or I tried using your training and I came across this one little issue with my particular computer, and then we show it. And I think the most important thing about doing a Q&A session is don't unmute people. Okay, if someone's got a question, they can email it to you, they can post in the members area, and they can ask in the question box for a webinar. But I mean, any question can be summed up in a sentence or two. It doesn't have to be some big long thing. We don't have to unmute someone and have them, talk to us and ask this question and that question. If you have multiple questions, that's great, but ask them in text form. I think that'll really help you if you're making a Q&A kind of thing on your own. So right now we have two programs like that. We have Webinar Crusher, and for the Webinar Crusher, most of the questions are saved up over the course of the month. And even if we don't have questions at first, and we always have questions, but I mean sometimes we'll start a call, and the questions will take a while for people to come in. And when that happens, then we'll just kind of be chit-chatting, and not chit-chatting, but like kind of reporting on what we've seen happen with webinars. And so for this course, I mean, we'll attend other people's webinars. We will notice the things that we are doing right and that we're doing wrong on our own webinars. And so it's just kind of like it's the way I always think about it is that Lance and I are having a conversation we would have had anyway privately on the phone, but we're recording it in front of you, and then we'll always, we'll make sure to limit our time and make sure to get to a point, because I think that is really tempting to go on for 3, 4, 5 hours. But if you can compress anything to an hour, then you're doing really well. The other course we do this for is a course called Double Agent Marketing. This is using the old video player, so it's kind of a tiny video. But what we do here is because the topics are so scatterbrained and it's so easy to get off track. What we do is we pretty much have I'll have the questions, and Lance can't see the questions. And over the course of the month, I'll try to kind of group together the questions that make the most sense. So I'll group together the questions on membership sites. I'll group together the questions on mobile marketing, and then I'll read them to him. And I think just by having that, I don't know, compartmentalizing whatever, it really helps us to keep on track. And as you can see, cover 10 or 12 different topics in the course of an hour, because we just kind of have those parameters defined where Lance is pretty much running the show. He's pretty much the boss when it comes to the Ask Robert and Lance call. And, I'll have something to say here and there. But I mean, I make it a point to speak much less than Lance. So it's like Lance is in charge of the answers. I'm pretty much in charge of the questions. And I mean, just doing stuff like that. And I mean, especially if you have multiple people on a webinar, just know ahead of time what you're going to be doing. Whether you're saying this webinar is going to be an hour long, we're going to answer the top 10 questions. That's it. You have two people. This is the question asker. This is the question responder. Really going to help keep your webinars and your coaching calls like this running a lot more smoothly. And the most important thing, keeping it at an hour. I mean, we keep our one-on-one calls to an hour, our group calls to an hour, and I keep these kinds of videos even under 10 minutes, because you're not doing anyone any favors by going rambling on and on and on and on. So I think that'll really help you moving forward. And then, of course, after the end of a coaching call, we'll kind of link to different things that we talked about. Some of them affiliate links, some of them are products, and that's what we do. And today, if you're getting this in time, we will be answering your questions about video. And Lance and I have maybe a topic or two to mention about video, but I'm sure you guys have your own questions. So have something in mind, where you're stuck. Show us one of your URLs, stuff like that, and we will be happy to look at it. Robert Plank, do your full relay tasks. See you on today's question and answer call, and we'll talk to you soon.